And we're back. This is your host, Anil Render, in the Capitol building in Springfield, dealing with the Black Caucus legislative meeting. So we're gonna get some great interviews and some great photos and great media coverage action. Definitely more to come on Render Life, Capitol building, legislative Black Caucus. More to come. Thank you. And we're back. This is Render Life with Neil Render, and we have on this day out in Springfield, State Capitol, Corey Pugh. Now I'm going to pass over the platform and allow you to share your contribution and all the great things you've done in Springfield and Chicago City. Let the viewers know out there.
Well, I have, during my tenure as a state representative, well, let me back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Prior to becoming a state representative, I was a community activist, and I worked with local community-based organizations like Austin People Action Center and Westside Small Business Development Corporation. And we offered technical assistance to small businesses, and from there we began to develop small business development centers who in turn developed small businesses. So my penchant has been entrepreneurship, and coupled with politics. And politics is the umbrella of economics.
Yes, sir.
You can't have successful politics unless you have an economic base. And so small businesses are that economic base. And
Yes,
in developing your political agenda, you have to have the grassroots, which is made up of the small business community.
Right.
So I've been working diligently with the small business community for years on the west side of Chicago primarily, and working to develop programs and assistance and identifying resources for the development of those programs and businesses.
Over the span of the many years you've been in this, what's the most challenging part that you have faced within your line of work and contribution?
Well, the main thing is our initiative. If you look at what's happening worldwide, and we have to work locally,
Yes, sir.
but think globally.
Yes, sir.
The global impact of what's happening in the world, the exit of the Brexit, the independence of the various African countries, all of that impacts the dollar, the economics.
That's right.
The economics is the thing that triggers the WIC food programs. So when you look at the big picture, the global picture on why did Brexit, why are they splitting the European Union? They're splitting the European Union because they no longer are receiving the resources from the mineral-rich countries that are now independent. So their dollar is dwindling, their value of their dollar is dwindling. And the people who were most dependent, like Portugal, on Africa are really hurting. And the people like Germany who depended on Africa, their dollar is worth a lot more, but they don't want their dollar to be valued at the rate that the Portuguese dollar is valued. And so they're splitting. But this is an opportunity for people to begin to take their business and expand it, through a global network. And with the onset of the AGOA Act, African Growth and Opportunity Act, and the myriad of other programs that are available for people to take advantage of that would allow them to ship their products overseas. Now is the time to develop those kind of global attitudes and global initiatives.
Man, one thing about it, I'm going to share this, and a lot of times just sharing the great things and your contribution, we just want to say thank you on behalf of Render Life. And as well, whenever I do these interviews, and I'm putting this out there for a reason, I'm listening to the content and also the wisdom and instruction that's being given, dealing with what this man was sharing, everybody, just to recap as well. I know I'm not cleaning it up, but for those out there dealing with the U.S. dollar, dealing with the African dollar, dealing with the currency, come on now. So there's things that's going on higher level areas, and there's things happening in Chicago City that you need to be a part of and come into the know for the reason, the why, and the how come. Thank you, Mr. Pugh, on this day, and to be able to share that economic class and lesson. More to come on RenderLife.
Okay.
Next up on RenderLife with Neil Render. And we're back. This is RenderLife with RenderLife Talkshow, and on this day, we have Representative Sonia here, boots on the ground to definitely capital Springfield. So just so I don't butcher everything and mess everything up, help me out, articulate all the great things you're doing at Capitol Hill on this day.
Sure.
Can you help me out and the viewers out there?
I sure will. Well, actually, you're here on a wonderful day today. This is a time when us legislators here in the General Assembly are really busy because we are trying to get all of our laws that we have proposed passed. We got a deadline on tomorrow. So let me tell you about a couple of the bills that I have, right?
This is real.
Well, one is really important to me, and it's House Bill 4008.
Yes,
and what it's asking is it's asking to provide some emergency funding right now to our Black and brown communities for gun violence prevention.
Yeah.
I am from Greater Englewood. As you know, my community has been suffering from gun violence for a very long time. It's honestly an issue that's so serious to me. It's the only reason why I'm a state legislator. It's the only reason why I got involved in organizing in the community. So, for us to have seen the greatest number of murders in Chicago than we have in 10 years, for us to have 4,300 people shot just in Chicago alone, and there is not an outpouring of resources, and I don't see my mayor and my governor doing what I think is enough to combat the violence.
That's right.
Us Black and brown members of the legislature have taken a stand, and so we have proposed House Bill 4008 that would provide emergency funding, $2 million to each one of our districts so that we can get on top of what we think is going to be another bloody summer, which I'm already getting very nervous about how this year is going to go as it relates to gun violence. But that's just one of the bills that I have. Another one that I'm really happy about and hope to get passed tomorrow is a bill that would help us track food deserts in the state. As you know, also in my district and across the city and across the state, there are populations of people who don't have access to healthy fruits and vegetables and affordable foods. They can't walk to a grocery store. They can't walk to somewhere and find an apple, but they can find all of this unhealthy food, right? And guess what? We are not dying. We are not dying mostly from bullets in our communities. You know what we're dying from? Preventable diet-related diseases. I'll repeat it again. Preventable diet-related diseases, because we haven't had access to fresh fruits and vegetables for so long that now as a community we don't even have them in high demand. And even if we are putting farms and putting Whole Foods and putting healthy grocery stores, we find ourselves still having to educate people. So yes, my food desert tracking bill, and also a bill to help that is a bill I proposed about urban agriculture zones to help to bring money into these food deserts, but so that we can also remedy our own food desert problem by growing our own food and having businesses and selling that food. And so those are two bills revolved around food that helps our community, and then the other one that we have to provide emergency funding for gun violence. Those are two of my big bills. I won't go through all of them. I also have a bill to continue to fund Chicago public schools using TIF dollars. As you know, we've had over $100 million cut from our budget in CPS. I have a daughter that goes to CPS. I am a CPS graduate. I'm also a member of a local school council. Making sure that our schools are funded is one of my #1 priorities, and I'm carrying a bill right now that I'm hoping we can pass and get some emergency funding to our schools as well.
We have Representative Camille Lilly here, is that right?
That is. That is.
So Shirley, I'm going to pass the platform and allow her to share what she does, who she is, and all the great things she's impacting Springfield on this day with. Go ahead and hit them with it.
Well, I'm going to say hello first. And I want to thank you for coming down with this new approach
Come on
to
now.
sharing the information what's happening in our community.
I understand.
The positive angle.
Yeah, come on.
Well,
You know
as a
it's rare.
legislator, I'm very, very proud. 10 years in,
All right.
and I am excited about the things I'm doing in the West Side or on the West Side with our young people.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a I'm 17 gathering where our young people, it's just the 17-year-olds,
I got
where
you,
their
yeah.
voices are heard. Because at that time, they're making critical decisions about where they're going in their life at 17.
Right.
So we need to take a minute to listen and be a part of those decision-making process. When doing this, I found that a lot of our young people have talent. And as the chair of the Museum Arts and Culture Enhancement, this is something we need to embrace and enhance.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot to say, not only through words, but through, I would say, expression.
That's it.
In song, dance, art, writing, all of that.
Yeah.
And when you sit and talk to 17-year-olds, they tell you what is on their mind and what they like to do. But if you don't do that, you don't get that. The narratives are up in the media that are all negative.
Yeah.
So at this point, I am indeed excited about all our young people and what we're doing here in the state of Illinois to support those efforts.
Great. Shirley, and we're back.
And we are.
That's how you do that. He said, well, what happened? And we're back. So we have Representative Camille Lilly here sharing about the youth. And one thing about people, older or younger, it's hidden deep down. So there has to be a encouraging, a nurturing, a cultivation of people, and all those great nuggets of instruction and wisdom, and to find out who that young 17-year-old is, to be able to find out who they are. Man or woman, boy or girl, that boy or that girl, where are they going? But in this case, you're a whole mentor, a whole woman, and I can see that. Not only just a political figure, a political head, but what you're doing, and also the 10 years you've been in with that seniority, it's going to be a whole nother booming 10 for you.
Don't touch that dial. More to come.